kids, it's Kai Johnston, and I would like to introduce you to our very fun project for the week. You are going to be making animals that hatch from an egg. Hint, if you watched the video that my mommy put on here, you will know that nothing that has fur, like a cat or a dog or a giraffe, hatches from an egg. Look and see what animals do hatch from an egg, and have lots of fun, okay? Happy Easter! Bye-bye!
Hello everyone, and welcome to Art Day with Mrs. J. Today we're going to be doing a fun project that uses line, shape, and color. We should have already watched a video a little bit earlier on in the Google Slides that talks about animals that hatch from an egg. So, you guessed it, we are going to make an egg with an animal inside. And there's a few different options for how to complete this egg. But there are also a few requirements, which means things that you have to include. So I want you to make sure you look at the slide so that you are including everything that we need. So to start off, we are going to make an oval. I would recommend that you use a pencil. Make sure you've gathered up all of your supplies. You'll need some scissors, some glue, something to color or draw with. You could even just use a pencil. You'll need some paper. You can use computer paper, the back of a worksheet from school that you don't need, or even a piece of recycled cardboard. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw our egg. We're going to start with the letter U, and then round over the top to make our egg. So, there you have it. We have our egg. Now, everyone has to make an egg, and everyone needs to use a pattern and a color group. So, what we're going to do is we're going to use some lines, zigzag, straight, a vertical line, curly, bumpy, wavy, wiggly, shapes, square, heart, circle, diamond, oval, rectangle, star. You could make spirals, and you're going to create a pattern. You could create an A-B pattern like this one, line, zigzag, line, zigzag, line, zigzag. Or you could create an A-B-B pattern, circles, wiggly line, circles, wiggly line, and you know there are so many different combinations. You could do ABB, AAB, ABBA. You get to decide, but we're going to create our pattern using lines and shapes, and then we're going to color our patterns in using some of our color groups that we have learned. So, I'm going to go back to my egg. I'm going to use a pencil because we can erase our pencil marks, and I'm going to create my pattern. I'm just going to do an A-B pattern, and I'm going to do straight line, curly line, straight line, curly line. Okay, so I created my A-B pattern. Then you're going to decide which group of colors would you like to make. And if you're thinking, oh, I wish I could just color this whatever color I want, well, guess what? If you want to make more than one of these eggs, on the second egg, you can use whatever color you want. But for our project, we are either going to use primary colors or secondary colors. If you choose the secondary colors, you're only going to use purple, green, and orange. If you're going to use the primary colors, you're only going to use red, yellow, and blue. So I think I am going to use the primary colors. So those are the only crayons that I'm going to leave out. But since I only have 2 different types of lines, I'm only going to need 2 colors. I'm going to trace over my curly lines, all the same color. Then I'm going to choose a different one of my primary colors, and I'm going to do the other line. Now we know in a pattern that we want it to repeat, and so that little yellow doesn't feel left out, and my pattern looks the same, I'm going to go ahead and color inside of this loop with the yellow. Then I have used all 3 of the primary colors. Our next step is going to be to cut out our egg. Go slowly. Make sure that your thumb is in the smaller hole and your other fingers are in the larger section on the bottom. You're going to very carefully and slowly open and shut right on that line until you get your egg. Boys and girls, if you don't have any scissors at home, you can just draw a picture on the back of your paper. Okay, so if you don't have any scissors, don't worry. You're just going to do the best that you can with the supplies that you have, and you can draw your animal that hatches from an egg just right on the back of the paper. If you do have scissors, you're going to flip your egg over. And for choice number 1, you're just going to draw your animal, whatever you want to come out of your egg, right on the back of the egg. So first, I'm starting with a semicircle. You're going to use your shapes to create your animal. I'm going to make a circle, and I'm going to connect it right there. And then use my handy dandy pink eraser and erase triangle. And then look here, I'm going to make just a little bump or a letter U. It's kind of curvy to make legs. And the mouth for my turtle. And then I'm going to make his shell, kind of with that design on it, however I want. Then you will color it in, and you have an animal that hatches from a shell. So that's choice number 1. Don't forget, you can color your animal whatever color it is. You don't have to stick with your primary colors. Color in your animal. Maybe you even want to give somebody some clues about your animal and see if they can guess what it is. Have to think about some facts about turtles, or look some facts up on your Chromebook about turtles so that you can give your mom or your dad or grandma or brother or sister, whoever's at home with you, some clues. And see if they can guess what animal you created in that shell. And then you can give them those clues, show them your egg, and if they guess the correct answer, ta-da, you have your animal right there in your shell. So that is option number 1. Option number 2 is you take this egg, you're going to draw a crack on it, like this, and you're going to cut it apart. So when you cut this apart, you'll have the two pieces that fit back together like a puzzle. And you can draw your animal on a separate piece of paper and glue him just poking up out of that egg if you'd like. I'm going to make a quick pattern on this one so we can all see. The pattern was one of the things that we had to do on our egg. The colors, primary or secondary colors, was our second thing. And we have to make something inside of our egg. So that is choice number 2. Draw a zigzag line in the middle of your egg, cut it apart so that you have two pieces that fit back together like a puzzle. Now, this third option is really fun, but it's a little bit harder, so you want to take your time and don't glue anything until you know that you've got it right, because I made a couple mistakes when I was figuring this out, so I want you to understand that it's okay to make mistakes when you're learning how to do something new. And I'm making these circles. The first one that I picked, I thought it was purple and it came out pretty pink. So I'm going to fix that up. So now I have green and purple. So I'm going to make another line in here, and then I have all 3 secondary colors. Now, this one, you want to cut your egg apart again. So remember, we have choice 1 with the design right on the back. Choice 2, where we cracked that egg. And choice number 3, I'm going to show you how we crack that egg really quick here. Okay, so you remember, when you want your egg to come apart in 2 pieces, you're going to make that zigzag letter M type line. Very carefully cut on that line. You see how those pieces fit back together? Ta-da! It's like a mouth. Okay, so for option number 3, you're going to begin with those 2 pieces that fit together very nicely. Your pattern should already be drawn and colored on your egg. And then we're going to make another piece of paper, because we're going to make the animal pop out of that egg. So we're going to fold our paper in half. Then we're going to fold our paper in half a second time, like an accordion or a fan fold, and it opens up to make like a letter M. Okay, so letter M. Even have another little one here. Okay, now we're going to put our piece connected here with this egg. So I'm going to move these 2 pieces apart. Okay, I'm going to put a teeny little bit of glue right down there at the bottom of my egg, and I'm going to put that egg right on here like this. Okay, then I want to make sure that this egg fits right here. I'm going to flip over, and you see this flap right here? I'm going to just put a teeny little bit of glue right at the top of that fold. I'm going to press it down on here. And if you see, it's like it's got a piece in the middle here. It almost makes like a letter T on here. Okay, so watch then what happens. I've got the piece in the middle. I'm going to flip it over. My egg fits right together, and then look what happens when I pull it. Got to let the glue dry. It opens right up and fits right back together, just like you can see here on my finished one. So I'm going to open it up. Hello, little alligator. And then I'm going to make those pieces go right back together, like a mouth that opens and closes. So remember, when you've got that piece, you're folded in half. Folded in half again. And then look, when we open it, if we do this, so it almost looks like a paper airplane or a letter T, okay? This is the part that we glue right on the back of that egg so that it opens and closes, just like that. Okay, so we have option number 1, egg with a pattern in the primary colors and an animal on the back. Option number 2, also an egg with primary colors and a pattern, and the egg is cracked, right? And out pops a little chickie. I had to go back and add my 3rd primary color. And then option number 3, the most complicated one. And if you need to stop and back up and rewatch, go right ahead. Take a little time and see how it works. Option number 3 is that egg that is cracked. The top and the bottom fit together, and we can pop it right open. Okay? So fold it in half, and then open up one side to make that letter T. Ta-da! Your animal's going to go right in here, and then you're going to put your glue on. Little at the top, little at the bottom, and right on the back of that egg. So he pops out just like that. I can't wait to see what kind of animals are hatching out of your eggs. Please make sure that you post a picture to the Google Slides, what I will give you a link to. And also make sure that you can put your egg picture in there. I'm also going to include a link on how to take a picture from your Chromebook. So have fun creating, and until after spring break, have a great time. And then again, we will have Art Day with Mrs. J.